take a wild guess what this little hockey puck is? Give y'all a second to take your guess. Well, there's another hockey puck right over here. There's one right there. And there's one, there's actually two in every parking spot. Interesting. Truck stops, Love's, Pilot, Flying J, Petro, TA. Do y'all know what these are? Should y'all know what these are? What's up, guys? Welcome back to A Trucker's Life. I'm Jorge Navarro. If you're new to the channel, welcome to the channel. If you are been subscribed, welcome back, guys. And we are in the great state of Florida, and we are at one of their very nice rest areas right now, getting up, getting ready to go. I already walked a mile. Believe it or not, I'm not going to talk about it. I'm just going to try it and try to get this weight off, guys. I got to do it, but I talked about it too many times and I never get nothing done, so I'm just going to do it. Anyways, so those little hockey pucks right there, over there, right there. So it's kind of hard to do when you're on the camera looking at yourself. But anyways, so those little hockey pucks right there are really sensors, is what they really are. And those of you that don't know, those of you that know, well, you already knew. Just a little reminder. You ever drive up to or coming up to a rest area where it tells you how many parking spots you left? This is not the only state that does that. There's a few states that have that system where it tells you how many parking spots are left. Well, if you wondered how they know that, it's because these sensors right there, blah, 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 I still can't figure it out. Boop. Anyways, these sensors are the ones that are telling us, or letting them know that there's a truck parked here or a vehicle. Because like last night, I was pulling up to this place and it said there was 27 spots left. When I got here, there was a lot of spots left. The truck stop, the rest area right before this, which is the one as soon as you come into the state of Florida on I-10, it said 0. And I went through there and there was 0 spots. So it was telling the truth. So I don't know, should truck stops take a little bit of Florida's or these rest areas information and implement it in their own truck stops? By the way, that's a really, really good looking truck. It's not over customized, but it's a really nice truck, and it's kind of brown, and it reminds me of, you guys know who. I don't even want to talk about it right now. Of course, hot chocolate that I miss so much. I'm still in this wild stallion right here that just beats you to death as you're traveling down the beautiful highways of Louisiana. Haha. But anyways, so should truck stops implement this in their places? This is why I think that they should, and this is why I think that they're not going to do it. So I think they should do it because it will alleviate a lot of overflow at some truck stops. Because this is my personal opinion, guys. This is my personal opinion. You guys might have a different opinion, but what I'm alleviating in the point is, like, for example, me. If I'm coming to a truck stop and I see a sign that said 0 places to park, the chances of me pulling in there are very slim. More than likely, I'm not going to pull in there, and I'm going to keep on going to the next truck stop. So that's why I say it would alleviate a little bit of the overflow, because other people with my same mentality will pass it up and won't congest it as much. But on the other hand, if you think about it, it would be a bad business decision on the part of the truck stops, because when we pull in, even though we didn't find a place to park, more than likely we'll stop, get off, go inside, buy a cup of coffee, buy something from the store, something to eat, and to get back on the road. So that would minimize or slow down their flow as far as the convenience store part or the restaurant aspect of the truck stops. So I don't think they would ever implement these sensors, although it's a very, very smart idea, but it's not smart for them because there's no money involved. So I don't know. What do you guys think about this? What do you guys' opinion on putting these sensors at truck stops? I know a lot of you might agree that we should, because it helps out a lot and it lets us know when there's a spot or not. But then again, as business, I don't think it's very smart. But just my opinion. As you notice, I don't have anything on my chassis here. So we have some particular loads that are it's kind of strange if you think about it in the money aspect of things. And you might think that it's not worth doing these loads like this, but in reality, the minimal amount of fuel that you're using to drag this empty thing halfway across the United States, and the money is actually okay if you add it up like you kind of should. I know some of you guys will be like, I don't like going empty anywhere, but when you get the money, it kind of makes sense. And it's kind of like doing 2 loads anyways. And it's a quick thing, because you go, you take this, you go, you get loaded, and you bring it back to Texas. 3 days, 3.5 days tops, you've made a really, really good paying load, and you can get back to grab you another one that's very similar and go do that as well. So you can knock out 2 very, very good paying loads and in a week, which is pretty decent. Now, if you knock out about 2 of these in 1 week, you can make probably between $12,000 and $8,000, depending on what the loads are in a week. Now, we still got to deduct fuel. You still got to deduct the percentage that the company charges you for that. But at the end of the day, it's a very good work week. Now, guys, remember, I have my truck sitting at the truck stop, or sitting at the Peterbilt in Chattanooga, and the plus I have the truck notes that are behind. I have a lot of stuff behind. I knocked out 2 of these loads, guys, and I still brought home a decent amount of money knocking out 2 of these loads, paying all my back pay on my truck, paying the rent on this truck, and still had money to bring home to the family. So sometimes this stuff doesn't make sense to a lot of you guys, but for me and for those of us that do ISOs, it makes a lot of sense. But what I'm doing is I'm going from Texas to Charleston to go pick up a tank. So all I'm going to do basically is show up, and they're going to put the tank on here, and I'm going to head back to Texas. Like I said, 3 days tops, and you done made you a really, really good payday. Check out this old KW, very nice truck. Well, it has potential to be a very nice truck. We saw that Melton out here doing some pre-trip inspections and checking out his straps and all that stuff. Good job, Melton driver. But yeah, so I don't know, guys. What do you guys think about that? What is your opinion on dragging something empty halfway across the United States to pick up a load? But what if it's enough to cover both ways and the fuel is less? So let me make it a little clearer example. Okay, so if you do 2 regular tank loads or regular van loads or whatever you want to call it, and you do 2 in 1 week, but you're loaded the whole time, so the amount of fuel that you're using is a heck of a lot more. It's double actually what I'm using doing these loads. I use a heck of a lot less fuel than somebody that's got that's got a load going out, a load going back, right? So, but then again, the pay is probably is usually about the same, because all of you guys know that when you go out with a really good paying load, you come back with a load that doesn't pay as well. Usually, if you're coming back to your terminal, if you're bouncing around the U.S., it's a little bit different. You probably get paid a little more. But if you're doing regional out and back, it's probably better to do this type of load opposed to being loaded both ways, because you're wasting time to get unloaded, wasting time to get loaded, plus the double fuel that you're using when you're loaded the whole time. And you're probably making just a tiny bit more than what I am or I might be making more than doing it that way. And the wear and tear on your truck, the tires and all that stuff, fuel, all that stuff adds up. And so really, who's winning here? The trucking company, of course. Not, but anyways, so I don't know. What do you guys think about this? I know it's a little bit confusing, and I just confused myself all, but at the end of the day, I think that this is a pretty good way of doing it, and I think that you make a really good living doing it this way if you're owner operator. If you're a company driver, I guess it really doesn't matter. But if you're an owner operator, lease operator, lease purchase operator, whatever you want to call me or call yourself, then I think that this is a pretty decent way of doing it. Like I said, minimal fuel or less fuel, more or less wear and tear on your truck, and the revenue, probably it's right there exactly the same. So I don't know, something to think about. Oh yeah, and this right here got replaced. Our air leak that we had got replaced right there, and our power steering got repaired. I don't know if the power steering pump got replaced, but it did get repaired. So good on that front. Starting to see some little specks of oil around here, but I'm kind of thinking it's coming from here. And that oil right there basically is just from the heater. See all that nastiness right there from the heater, that diesel burning heater that's on this truck. Pretty good system though. There's the AC part, that's the heater, that's the outlet of the heater, and it's all up in there. That's gross, right? Yeah, it is. And but pretty good setup. I really like the setup. But that's it, guys, on this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's a shorter video, but hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And if you guys have a comment on these hockey puck sensor things at these the rest areas and what you think that truck stops should implement in their places, comment down below. And if you know much about how these loads right here work, and you think that it's better to be loaded all the time instead of going empty, coming back loaded, even though the money's about the same, comment down below on that too. With that being said, guys, thank you guys again for joining me one more time, guys. Don't forget to be kind to one another. Help anybody that needs help. Anybody contemplating suicide, 1-800-273-8255. Military men and women, thank you so much for your service. See you guys on the next video. Peace. We're out of here.